For me, Villar, defensively, he hasn't been good for a couple of years. 19, he was actually really, really bad. Last year, he was bad. I've heard some people say he could play the outfield. He's had 7 chances in the last 4 years, I believe. And out of those, he was supposed to make all 7, according to StatCast. He made 4. So, like, he converted 4 of them into outs. So he's not good in the outfield, not going to play out there. He shouldn't play out there. And in the infield, look, to me, he's not very good there. And offensively, he comes with so many question marks. He is a play with your hair on fire kind of a guy. And some teams, that's great. You know, it's good, get some energy going, it's awesome. This team, in my opinion, doesn't need that. They've got energy, they've got emotion, they play off of that, they feed off of that. You get someone like this in there, he can win you a couple games because he does have some talent, but he plays reckless. And to me, whether it's offensively or defensively, he might cost them a few games. And when you're talking about the type of division race that seems to be shaping up between them and Atlanta, potentially Washington, but to me, it's them and Atlanta, that could cost you the division.
I mean, the bottom line is he's a utility player. And look, we've seen this guy over the years, his years with Milwaukee. You know, he's actually had a couple of decent games against the Mets. He's one of those pain-in-the-neck type players, I like to call, that when he's not on your team, you know, he always does something that seems like to be a thorn in your side on occasion when you least need him to be. But when he's on your side, he can help you. Look, he's speedy. He can steal you some bases. Late inning guy on the Bates pass if you need it. And we're not looking, or the Mets aren't looking for him to be an everyday player. So I don't really mind the investment right now. I don't mind having a guy like that on your baseball team because this isn't a guy that's going to play 120, 130 games for you. At least you hope not.
Marley, first of all, thank you so much for being here. Why do you think Jonathan Villar keeps getting jobs the way he does, and why do you think the Mets saw him as a fit?
Well, I think I want to be invited again and not be the contrarian in this group, but I'm going to completely understand where Anthony is coming from. And obviously, from a former player, you always respect that opinion on the field, right? If the plays are not made, then it doesn't matter who you are. So that's the number one thing. But one of the things that Jonathan has, and I've known this kid for quite some time now, he's about 29, 30 now, so I've known him for a good 15 years, is that he's the kind of guy who becomes a cog in a team. And I'll drop a name like Ronald Torreyes that had happened with the Yankees, if you guys remember. It was that guy that you're like, he's not even tall enough to play baseball, and he became so important. Aaron Judge used to call him the heart of the team, and that's who Jonathan Villar can become. He's that guy. I mean, Charlie Montoya, who had him very shortly with the Toronto Blue Jays, told me, I love that guy's spirit. And that's what you get from Villar. Now, let's be very clear. You have to perform on the field. It doesn't matter if you're the greatest guy alive and the greatest teammate. If you do not contribute on the field, it doesn't matter. But I actually really like the signing because of Jonathan Villar and who he is.